really something different than stock, and I didn't figure them to stock till about the middle of the month. Of course, you never know.
It's close. I can keep a couple rods in the car, go fishing whenever I feel like it, whenever I get some time. Got an hour to kill, go do some fishing.
Yeah, very close to home. Sometimes on the way home from work, so that's always a bonus. We get off early, we stop by the lake, see if the fish are biting, and there's one.
Got one!
I'm on my lunch break. And not a lot of people actually know that there's bass out here.
Trout fishing means to me something to do in the wintertime. And you can eat your fish, it's pretty good. It's a real good, clean fish. My favorite is I like to smoke it. Put it in a brine and then smoke it with some cherry and applewood.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
And keep the game scoreless in the second period when St. Louis opened the scoring.
The urban fishing program's history is kind of unique. There was a lot of unrest back in the 60s, and one of the things that the U.S. Bureau of Sport Fisheries and Wildlife thought was if they could provide better outdoor opportunities, that may help ease some of the tensions. And so they decided to create the urban fishing program in 6 major metro areas. St. Louis was one of them. One of the original park lakes is Jefferson Lake, the lake that's behind us today in Forest Park. And since 1969, we've been stocking it with fish to provide that close-to-home fishing opportunity. And we began with St. Louis City in 5 lakes, and we've since expanded to St. Louis County, Baldwin, and Ferguson, and now have 16 lakes in the St. Louis metro area. And as an offshoot of the St. Louis program, Kansas City started up the urban fishing program for them. So the program has gone statewide since then and is just really popular. Another very important part of the urban fishing program is the partnership that's been developed over the years. Without the partnership and the help of St. Louis City, St. Louis County, Baldwin, and Ferguson, there is no urban fishing program. They provide the parks, they provide the water bodies for us to put the fish in. We just manage the fisheries. So together, they take care of the park maintenance, we take care of the lake maintenance, and it's a great partnership.
I think the program puts everybody on an even playing field. It's open to all ages, all socio-economical race. Just kind of evens the playing field, and it's open to everybody. It's free. You know, they stock it on a regular basis, so it keeps the anglers coming back. So you have grandparents bringing children, grandchildren, so it's multi-generational.
We did have a guy tell us just the other day that he pulled out a 7.5-pound bass out of here. Knowing that we've always got good varieties of fish in there that gives people the opportunity to come out and fish that wouldn't otherwise get the opportunity is a tremendous asset to the community.
The urban fishing program has really benefited the Ferguson Parks and Rec Department by giving opportunities to families, children, and other people throughout the community that wouldn't have the opportunity to experience fishing on a day-to-day basis in their normal lives.
The St. Louis Urban Fishing Program offers a kind of a wide variety of fish species for people to chase. Some are stocked, some reproduce naturally in lakes. The stocked species in winter are generally trout, rainbow trout we use. Sometimes we'll get some brown trout. And then as spring wears on, we'll start to stock with channel catfish and augment that with hybrid sunfish throughout the summer. And generally we wrap that up in September and then begin again in November with trout.
It's an enjoyment for us to deliver to the people that maybe don't have the resources that we would have down in the Ozarks. They are glad to see us, and most time they are appreciative. They will give you a good thank you, and we have even had some to write thank you cards and send in to the hatchery there.
The trout stocking early on in the process anyway was so popular. The first stocking of the year really created like a Black Friday type situation. people all wanted to catch that first trout of the year, kind of like at one of our trout parks on March 1st. Very, very, very popular, but a little too popular for us to access the park with our stocking truck. So we needed to then kind of change up how we decided to stock those fish and not announce the dates ahead of time. So now we just report to the fish stocking hotline instead.
The regular anglers know when the lakes are going to be stocked. They know what they're stocked with. They know the time frames. You'll see them out there just waiting, ready to, be the first, get the biggest, and anybody can do it. To have this in our backyard, it's phenomenal.
The fish that reproduce in most of our lakes include largemouth bass and bluegill and white and black crappie, and those fish species have only kind of been a recent addition to the St. Louis urban fishing program since we were able to renovate some of these lakes and provide better habitat for them. Most of the lakes in these parks were just aesthetic amenities to the park. They weren't really built with fishing in mind, so they weren't very deep. Fish couldn't survive the winter generally, so through the Community Assistance Program, we provided over $2 million worth of renovations to deepen the lakes, put in fish habitat and aeration systems so now the fish can survive throughout the year, and they can also reproduce in these lakes. So we have some pretty good bass fishing and crappie fishing and bluegill fishing in these lakes now too because of those agreements and renovations. Many of the lakes, it was a little difficult for folks to get down and fish those shorelines, so through these agreements we put in parking facilities for disabled folks and then trails and fishing docks or fishing platforms for people to utilize. And they're very popular additions to the program. In addition to the city water that helps to maintain the good habitat in our city park lakes, we also improve habitat in the lakes through planting native aquatic plants and then also recycling Christmas trees every year by sinking those Christmas trees in the lake for fish cover. And all those things combined provide the types of habitat things like bass and bluegill and crappie need to spawn and to get big for anglers. When we asked anglers fishing these lakes how important fishing in urban fishing program lakes was to them, outside of family and their job, over 60% of those people said this was the most important activity in their lives.
The anglers that show up at their parks every day, it is a community because they are coming every day or a couple times a week and they have their spots. It's kind of an unwritten rule, this is kind of my area, but they're all there together. It's a sense of community around each lake.
Come out here any day of the year, you're going to see anywhere from 10 to 30 fishermen fishing on a regular basis. Doesn't matter how cold it is, how warm it is, they're always out here on a daily basis.
There are a lot of different people that utilize the St. Louis urban fishing program. But when I come out and work the lakes or stock the lakes, I see a lot of familiar faces, our regulars I call them. And it's an important part of their life is fishing in these lakes. And they have their favorite place, their favorite lake, and that's where I see them generally every time I come out. So it's pretty gratifying to be able to know that you're an important part of somebody's life and that you're providing a service they really, really like and really enjoy.
I just like having a place to fish, honestly. It's really good.